Here we are in your hideout. We're in Germany, so let's go with the Porsche, the GT3. Now that you have your car, you can personalize it to make one of a kind. And there are seriously millions of options. And all drive is the perfect environment to really show off your style. To win this race, you're going to need pursuit tech, like the EMP.
If any of you guys saw that clip from the beginning, those clips from the beginning, man, any hardcore or at least true Need for Speed fan knows this game looks like it's gonna be bad. Now, I'm not saying it's gonna be like OD bad like how Shift 2 or Pro Street was, which was the worst games in the series, but it's not gonna be as good as it can be, is what I'm trying to say, because they keep getting away from that core aspect of what Need for Speed was built on, and they keep shying away from it. They keep moving away from it, and they keep trying to be innovative when all they have to do is go back to the ideas that everybody wants to see. Now, some of y'all may have hope for this game with the personalization and customization. I didn't hear anything about rear bumpers, front bumpers, side skirts, window tinting, muffler tips. That's what I wanna see, and that's what customization means to me. Be able to go the whole 9 yards with customizing every piece of the car, even the transmissions and everything. I want to see that back, not track tires and long gears. I want to see everything from engines and all of that. I want all of that back in the game. We want the rims, we want everything. Now they look like they took a few steps forward with that, with putting like little vinyl skins and maybe changing a few of the rims and putting some color on it back in the garage. That's a plus. But you know, not only that, but I want to be able to actually start at a starting line. Why are you having me in a racing game where I'm just thrown into a race? I hate that. I'd rather see the grid system back. They just put you in a race and tell you, here, go ahead, start from any position. You don't know how many cars you have to pass. You don't know how many cars is behind you. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in any racing game, is them not having a starting line. I hate that about Need for Speed and where they've taken this direction. From Underground, Underground 1, well, Underground 1, Underground 2, and Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005. Those were great games, and I'll even go as far as saying Carbon was a decent game as well. Some of you guys may have liked Carbon a lot. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but it was okay. I think it was the last decent one before, of course, they came out with one of the worst ones of all time in Pro Street. I mean, this game is just getting worse. Pursuit tech is the dumbest thing that you can add to this game, and I'm gonna tell you why. The multiplayer for this game is ruined for two reasons. One, there's no lobby system, and the people constantly taking each other down in a race. I've been in so many races where getting a first place finish is extremely easy, and guys are finishing 2 minutes to 3 minutes behind me because they're all busy trying to smash into each other, trying to get those takedown points. Adding takedowns to the game was one of the worst things that they can possibly do in Need for Speed 2012, that Most Wanted. It was alright. It wasn't the best game and it wasn't the worst one, but it definitely wasn't involved in the core aspects. I mean, there was no customization. You was just driving through what looked like gas stations in order to change the color of your car and repair it. You don't even buy cars. You ran up to jack spots like there was no money in the game. That was weird. I mean, why wouldn't you have money in a racing game where you're trying to buy cars and then customize these cars? That's the whole point of the game, and that's what Need for Speed is based on. And then, of course, they had some of the women and stuff in it. That was a pretty cool idea to help them with the storyline, and also they will help and guide you and walk you through maybe your career and some of the races and stuff that you may have to go through. And that was a cool idea, man. They didn't have to do anything else but keep using that idea, because you was giving people ultimately what they wanted to see, and keep improving the graphics and the racing and how the cars felt. Now cars, if you felt like, at least for me, in Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012, I felt like if I drove one tuner, I drove all the tuners. If I drove one exotic, I drove all the exotics. So if I drove one muscle car, I drove all of them. None of them handled really different. The only difference was the acceleration and the speed. That was the only difference between each and all the cars for me. Maybe you guys feel different. Leave it in the comment section if you did. But for me, I felt like all the cars were pretty much the same. Once you drove one of each class, you can drive all the different types of cars. and they even forced you. And I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with using every car in the game, and generally I would eventually get to every drive in every car in the game, but that was probably once I finished the game, or I was trying to find a car that once I found a car that I really like, I would stick with that one for a while. It was so hard just to gain speed points that it was nearly impossible. Then we got this idea coming up called all drive. Oh my god, that looks like it's gonna be an absolute disaster, where you got people, if you meet up with them, they would automatically throw you into multiplayer instead of, I mean, I know that option can be turned off, but why isn't it even in the game? That's not how you need to get people to play with each other. They're so focused on getting that social gaming experience in order for it to have a replay value, because there's no replay value to the game, because there really isn't no great customization and a lot of stuff that you can do. I mean, yeah, they give you little challenges like jumping through billboards and stuff, but this ain't Burnout, baby. I don't want to jump through no billboards. I want to race. That's the whole point of a racing game. I mean, Burnout was more arcadish than it was simulation, and that's why a lot of people were excited when they got rid of the guys from Criteria, because Need for Speed, like I said earlier, had that perfect balance between arcade and simulation, where, yeah, you know, some of the cars and stuff, when you smash into them, you know, they may give you like a slow animation or something that would have happened. I mean, I generally didn't mind just crashing all out, starting from zero and then going back up again. I hate the takedown animation where they hit you with a car and then you gotta wait 5 seconds to respawn your car onto the road. Yeah, they gave you some speed to your car, but even then, that's not what racing was about, man. And even the cops. Let's touch on the cops for a second, because this game, for the second half of it, is basically about cops versus racers once again. I'm getting pretty tired of that. Is where in this game, apparently the cops are, you know, you can choose to be a cop in this game, and there's nothing wrong with that. I heard you can do that in one of the Hot Pursuits where you could be a cop. That's fine with me, but I see cars have health bars on them now. I mean, you're gonna give cops spike strips, but then you let cars reinflate their tires within like 5 or 6 seconds. So what's the point of even trying to take these cars off the road? I mean, the cops' difficulty in Most Wanted 2012 was child's play for any true Need for Speed player or anybody with some driving skills. I mean, you had to be at least going 70 miles per hour if you wanted the cops to keep up with you. I was constantly slowing down and just staying in spots waiting for cops to come after me, and just so that the cooldown spots can go, and getting out of the getting into the cooldown spots, all you had to do was just go where the cars or the jack spots were and you'd be straight. It was that simple to get away from the cops. It was nothing hard and it was nothing difficult. I want each car to have its own personal feel. I want each car to be able to be customized and feel different. Taking a crap car and making it into a beast car by the parts and stuff that I put into it. Like how it was back in the day, where you could take one of those Chevy cars from the beginning and then you can make it go 200 and change in limit speed, or somewhere at least near 200 or 180. That was great, and that was one of the good things about Need for Speed. Taking a car from scratch, building up to something special, and then competing with cars that's supposed to be in higher classes than your car is supposed to be. That was great. Being able to put colors and all the things that I want on a street racing car and make it possible. And that was great. You know, having money to go spend on cars, and, you know, going out there and actually wanting to do the races so I can get the money in order to customize the cars. That was great. And all I want now is for a proper online multiplayer experience without people crashing into my car and smashing and trying to smash me in, thinking this is Burnout Paradise. I don't want to deal with takedowns, and I don't want to deal with half of the crap that's going to be going on in Need for Speed Rivals. And I hope maybe this video can help change somebody's mind in the development team. But I'm out of time, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. This is your boy FightNightsFinest, the Sofa Commentator, and I'm off this. Peace.